2 years ago, I quit my 9-to-5 job to become an entrepreneur and create the life I always dreamed of. By age 26, I made my first million online, and now I run a 7-figure marketing agency with clients all over the world. The real question is, how did I go from being stuck in a 9-to-5 job to making millions online, traveling the world, and designing the freedom lifestyle I always dreamed of? I'm here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I share the exact strategies that helped me scale my marketing agency to 7 figures and gave me the freedom to live life on my terms. My name is Joel, and welcome to 7-Figure Agency. What you got, Omir?
Practice. There's no other thing. You're not gonna get confident in doing anything really, unless you are doing it so many times to the point where it's subconsciously happening already. So if you are not practicing and you're not getting on hundreds of calls a week, thousands every month or so, then you're already behind. There's no tip there, to be honest. It's just you got to do it.
Got it. All right, guys, for this one, I got something for you. So when I first started out, Omir, you sound like shit, by the way.
Why? My headphones?
No, you just sound tired as hell.
I mean, yeah, 4 hours of sleep.
Dude, you should get some coffee or something.
I know. I'm off today.
I know. You want me to lead the way on this one today?
You lead the way. You lead the way. I'll answer questions as they go.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, how do you increase your confidence? So believe it or not, I started selling right out of college, although that was a waste of time going to college, but that's a whole nother story. However, I started doing sales right after I graduated. And I remember walking into these meetings because it was in-person sales, and I would have major anxiety and actually lacked a lot of confidence. But what I remember telling myself is, you know what, Joel, like, suck it up. Like, this is experiencing that anxiety and doing it anyways is the only way I'm going to overcome it. It's the only way I'm going to get comfortable. Now going into an in-person meeting does not affect me whatsoever. But the reason why I was able to get to that moment is because I just did it. I went for it, and I was not afraid to fail. And in my very first job, I also did a lot of public speaking. And I would do speeches in front of hundreds of people. And when I first started doing this, I was scared out of my mind. Like, going up on stage in front of hundreds of strangers and never having like really that much experience before was a total like nerve wreck. And I remember telling myself, Joel, just do it, fail forward, and accept these feelings, accept these insecurities as part of the process. So the question is not, how do I get more confident? The question is, how can you just push yourself to do it even though you will not feel confident? That's the key. That's the answer. How can I push myself to do it even if I don't feel confident? If you can answer that question, that is how you win. The key is not to figure out how to become more confident. The key is to figure out how to do it anyways, even if you feel like a little bitch.
100%. If you're afraid of failing, your confidence is never going to grow. Confidence comes through repetition, practice, failing, learning, and repeating, and then it just comes subconsciously.
So what are some things that people can do to just step into that? Like, for me, like, one of the best things that you can do, 2 things that I highly recommend for anyone starting out is, number 1, go to in-person networking events like BNI. Like, literally go to bni.com. This is not rocket science, guys. Find a chapter. Put in your zip code. Okay, boom. I've got all these in-person events with hundreds of business owners that I can go to. So one of the easiest ways to put yourself out there is to go to one of these events as a guest. You don't even have to speak. You can just sit there the entire time and not even say a word. And the key is that you're going to be putting yourself out there. You're going to be taking a step forward, even if you feel like you lack the confidence. So that's one thing that I highly recommend is go to an in-person event. Because at the end of the day, one of the reasons why I gained so much confidence after that very first job that I had is because I put myself out there in very extreme situations. Public speaking in front of 200 people, going to sell to superintendents that were 40 years older than me, and managed school districts for over 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 students. Like I would go to sell to these people in person. So the stakes were so much higher. And then when it came down to selling online, it became so much easier because I'm pretty much behind a screen. I could turn it off at any point in time. There's no real consequence if you fail. So the key is, guys, find ways to put yourself out there. And the more uncomfortable the situation, the better. And I'd say also the more consistent you do it, the better. So that's number one. Number two, make sure to do a lot of cold calling at the start and not for getting clients, but instead to get that confidence, because cold calling is one of the most uncomfortable things that you can do. And I know for a fact that if you learn to do it and learn to sit through that awful feeling of discomfort, the confidence will naturally come. So
100%.
The key is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations as consistently as possible. We also answered the real question needs to be how can I do this anyways, even if I don't feel confident? Go to BNI's cold call. Stop being a little bitch.
And then judge yourself after 100 demos.
All right.
And then wait, in parentheses.
This was the first question, but we didn't type out the answer, so I wanted to get.
I want to make that even more in depth. The last one on just judge yourself after 100 demos. One niche, one offer, one service, like whatever, just one literally. Do not tell me that you've tried 100 demos and you did 30 this, 30 that, 30 this, 30 that.
All right, we have that down. Boom. All right, let's keep going. Next question, guys. Actually, before we keep going, if you are